Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm a little bit close to the road because I'm currently at the beach, and I was trying to find a spot that was like in the shade because it's really hot out today, but also away from other people because I'm really uncomfortable filming with other people around. So hopefully you can hear me okay. But a few weeks ago, I did a video chatting about sort of this minimalistic, simplistic setup that I was doing for the month. And all I've been carrying around with me is my Olympus EM1 Mark II with a 25mm lens. That's all I've been carrying with me for this entire month. So I wanted to chat with you about some of the benefits that I experienced doing this one lens challenge, as well as some of the challenges that I experienced. So let's get into it. So what sparked this interest in doing a minimalistic setup for June was actually a video that I watched on YouTube. So I love B&H's video series called 21 Questions, and a couple months ago they did an interview featuring Paolo Manares on Instagram, and something about that video sparked this interest inside of me to try doing a simplistic setup for June. And I chose the 25mm for a couple reasons. One, it's the only prime lens that I own, and two, I needed a lens that was going to be versatile for all the kinds of photography that I would be doing this month, but also would be a little bit of a challenge for myself. So those were like the two main reasons why I chose to go with the 25mm. So when it comes to the benefits of doing the minimalistic setup and doing the one lens challenge, these are just based off of my experience and what I witnessed. But one of the big benefits that I saw was just how simple and easy it was to get out the door. I wasn't having to fumble with my gear, if I should bring this or that, maybe I should leave this behind because I'm doing that. It was just so simple and easy to get out the door because I only brought a handful of items with me. Normally it was wallet, phone, keys, camera, and maybe a water bottle because it's been getting really hot here in Kelowna. The second benefit that I just experienced was just how much more I actually brought my camera with me everywhere I went. So typically in the past, my 12 to 40mm was my everyday camera lens, and although it's a pretty small setup with the EM1 Mark II, the 25mm was just even smaller and lighter than that, and I just found myself bringing it everywhere with me. So whether that was I was going out for a meal, whether I was coming to the beach or going for an evening walk, I was just more inclined to bring it everywhere with me. The third benefit that kind of links with the second one was just how discreet the setup was. So now that things are heating up here in Kelowna, the beaches, the parks, the streets, everywhere is getting so much busier. So it was nice not having the camera backpack, all of the lenses, and just having a little bit more of a discreet setup. Small bag, small camera in those public spaces. So that was like, I was really appreciating just how discreet the setup has been for me. The fourth benefit I saw with doing this one lens challenge was just how much it made me more aware of my surroundings, my composition, my perspective. I found it was making me linger on a moment longer to make sure that the settings were what I wanted, my composition is what I wanted, maybe I needed to change my perspective. Like, I just found in general, it made me linger on a moment longer to make sure that I was photographing what I wanted to photograph and how I wanted to photograph it. So the last benefit that I experienced that was a little bit unexpected was how much it pushed me outside of my comfort zone. So I've been working on summer in the Okanagan, which is my project to document what summer is like here in the Okanagan from my experience, but also how others enjoy summer. And with only using the 25mm, it's actually forced me to get closer to the scene. So I can't use the 12 to 40 or the 40 to 150 and photograph from really far away. I actually have to get closer to the scene, closer to other people, just closer in general. And it's just been surprising and a little bit unexpected on how much going with the one lens, going with the minimalistic setup, although has a lot of benefits and was nice in a lot of ways, also pushed me outside of my comfort zone a little. When it comes to the challenges, the only real one that I had was actually photographing in tight spaces. So a few weeks ago, I wanted to photograph our first meal out because indoor dining had been suspended for the longest time. And so I brought my camera with me, and we were in a restaurant, and we were just like in a really tight space. We were in a table/half booth, and I couldn't actually get any farther in order to frame out my composition how I wanted it to. So that was like really the only main challenge that I had. Most generally, I am outside like I am today doing my photography, but I have been trying to document more of those smaller, everyday, personal moments that I have, whether it's birthdays, Father's Day, or just moments that I have with my family, because those are important. But that was really the only main challenge that I experienced with doing this minimalistic one lens challenge for June. So for any of you that are curious, here are some of my favorite photos that I've taken this month using my minimalistic setup. So I really did enjoy doing this minimalistic setup for June, trying out this one lens challenge. There were definitely things that I learned that I want to bring forward in my photography, and I do highly recommend that if you've never done a one lens challenge yourself, to give it a try and find out what the benefits are for you. Leave me a comment down below if you've ever done a one lens challenge and what you liked about it, or if you plan to do one now. That is everything for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed and found it useful. If you did, then hit that like button and subscribe, and maybe buy me a cup of coffee, and I'll see you in the next one.